blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another CAW Summit. This one's a little different. How you doing? So tonight, we're going to review the past summits. Basically, we're here just to bring people together that do this eFed thing. And we had a confrontation a couple shows ago about who's really knowledgeable in video game history, trivia for wrestling. So I figured, why not have a game about it? And I get to put the old game show host hat on tonight. And you saw everyone who's here. We got Gav and Cowboy John popping in as well. So if you guys in the chat have a trivia question, we're going to play Jeopardy tonight. There will be Jeopardy style questions. We're going to twist it up a little bit. Stroud City's in the building. Dubs is here. Temple is here. So what we're going to do tonight, and we've talked about all these different people, all these different logos you see around me of individuals who run their own eFeds. Well, we've introduced you to over a dozen of them just, throughout the last couple weeks, every Sunday. So check out those streams. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, and then get to introducing my guest for the week. We got Andy Price in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. Count loves some trivia. Well, get a question ready. Don't put the answer in the chat, obviously, but I have my buzzer. We're going to twist the rules of Jeopardy a little bit to make it work for us. It's the wrong answer. So, I guess the right answer, or we could actually, instead of having them buzz in, you guys in the chat will vote who will get the first pick. Who? All right. Who will get the first pick? Now, obviously, like Jeopardy, they won't get to see the question until we pull it up. We do have the categories. So will it be odds or will it be Riley? You guys vote. Who will get the first pick? We're going to start out with them. They'll pick a number off the board, and then we'll go from there. All right. Each person can try to answer the question. If they get it right, they'll get the dollar amount. But if they don't get it, the other person will have an opportunity to steal it. Yeah, I remember you, Stroud. So there are 3 categories: features, match types, and games. Now, you guys in the chat, it can be whatever question. Obviously, it can't be one of the 15 questions I have in front of me. But we'll figure out by that. If you have a question, the worst wrestling game lineup created. Now, if you have a question, don't put it in the chat yet. Don't put it in the chat. Just have it ready, have it written down or whatever. Because when someone picks that from the board, then you can go from there. But you can put your question up, I should say. We've brought people together. We started out with Riley Wolf, Totes McGoats, and Triple Beat. That was our first CAW Summit. So we started the CAW Summit where we're bringing together all these different people, and Totes from his version of WCW morphing into his own eFed as it has been. Triple Beat has 3 different companies. Riley Wolf. We talked about with all 3 of these guys and their channels, and you can check out their channels at Triple Beat, at There's a Belt in My Hand, Riley, Triple Beat, and Totes McGoats 01. All the links are in the description of this show. The second one we brought on Sean from Monstar, Kelly, and Odds. Now, all 6 of those people got to explain how their shows work, how they, put together their shows, what it's made up, because we're all doing eFeds, but we all do it differently. And that was the beauty of it. That's what I wanted to highlight here, that with all these logos here, 50 different eFeds, they're all run a little bit differently. There might be 2 that are pretty close, but not really. They're all different, and that's the beauty of it. But we're all using the game for AI versus AI and creating our own universe, a Dungeons and Dragons style role-playing game. But using the game to decide who wins and loses based on how you create your character. Monstar, we talked about him. There's his link. He's in the chat. Odds is one of our guests today for the Jeopardy. Check out his show as well as Crushing Kelly. Blood Moon. There was actually a Blood Moon the other night. We just had a storm, and I'm going to start doing the garden streams again very soon because I'm going to plant the onions, get a head start on the onions. But we just had a windstorm today so bad. 2 tornadoes dropped around where I'm at. Small ones. No real big damage, but roads are closed. It ripped the door off of my shed. I'll show you garden when we get back to the garden streams. Then we did, it blew over 2 trees. It blew over part of it blew over my shed in the back. Garbage all through the backyard. Great. But spring is here. We'll be talking about the backyard and hanging out there, trying to grow food, fruit, herbs, whatever, vegetables. So you guys will give me ideas. I'll try to plant them, and we'll bullshit. Most of the time it's in the afternoon. I'm going to have to change that up because right at noon when I want to go, that's like, it's too much sun. It's too bright. I can't even keep my phone out there that long. I had the laptop out there last year a couple times. I might do that again. Well, I'll save my 25 speech for when we get to 25. We had Cougar Knight, Chance Harper, Cassie Madam Red, Mordrin, Mrs. Utaker, Count Z, Goddess, and me all on the other summit. That was a blast. That was pretty crazy. That's when we talked about creating your character, And most of the streams, because there was a lot of content, a lot to cover, they're 3 hours each. So pick and choose. I tried to timestamp the first one. I don't know if it worked right or not. I want the timestamps on the bottom so you can just jump to whatever spot you want to watch. If anyone knows how to do that, drop me a message. I thought it was just in the description. If you put the number, it shows up that way. That's how I've seen other people. Tornado watch. Yeah, that's what we are. We're under tornado watch right now. So if I do go out, the stream will just come back. Garden stream, we'll be back there with gardens pretty soon. Temple's in the building. So we talked all about creating your character, how to create it, your favorite things. Chance representing Grand Prix. There's Chance's channel as well. Bring back your E-Fed. Cougar Knight representing EXW, which is Susie's channel. It was all women's, men's too. Now Count Z, who does tag teams for Goddess of Pain, her channel. It was fun with 7 guests. It was, but there's a 7 that I've known the longest. Most of them that I've talked a lot to privately. So we already knew each other, and we just, basically just shoot the shit about creating your character. Last week it was fun because 25 just dropped. I'm not going to get into it yet. We'll talk about my take on it later, and my plans here have changed slightly. Solo and Twitch, that was a blast. I mean, as we could see, all 3 of us, any of us 3, Solo, Twitch, or me, could have ran that show for 3 hours by ourselves. But to have all 3, it was fun. Thank to both of them for allowing me to moderate and run that. And 2 of my favorite channels out there, 2 great dudes, full of energy, full of knowledge, full of passion about the art form that we do, which is e-fetting. That's what I think sums Solo and Twitch up. I don't really like you, Count. No, I don't. Don't let I don't like you at all. So check out Solo Season and DC Gaming Network. All the links are in the description. Like I said, all 50. Now we've come to the game. Let's get ready to play a game. I do have video game theme music. So I do have, it's not the copyright one. I should have thought of this before. But now that I think of it, I can use it as the music to wait for answers. So I have this one that I used, game show, I believe it's called. There it is. Let's upload it here so I'll have a game show soundtrack. I got a bunch of people's theme songs still here too, and commercials. We're not going to get too off track here tonight. It is game time. Yeah, thanks for keeping me on pace. And big shout out to Triple Beat. So Triple Beat and I got together. He sent me a bunch. I found a bunch. Asked a couple people who sent in a few. We got questions for 2 of the guys who, well, I gave the first guy odds props for knowing, like, hey, this is the last time this was in the game, or this was never in the game, or this is the game where this was in the game, and this is when the game had this game, and this game had this mini game in that game, and when this game came out, the other game came out. And he knew it all. So I was like, I'd like to put you to the test with some trivia for pro wrestling video games. And Riley said, hold up a minute. I think I can compete. I know these games pretty well too. So I said, that sounds like, a perfect idea for a game show. So Jeopardy is what we're basing it on, but we're twisting the rules. We're going to give both, because we have 2 instead of 3 contestants. I thought 3 would be a lot. If we end up ever doing it where, I know, we'd have to have like a light that we can trigger and it would go off on our screen with our camera. If we were even to do that, that would be difficult. We're going to do it the easy way. We're just going to have them show up here and they will choose. Right now, it's 53. We got 17 votes with 20 people here. If you have not voted yet, go ahead and vote. Because right now, to get the first pick, it's odds with 53%, Riley with 47%. So get your votes in. If you want to try to sway that, whoever gets the first vote will start us off. And it was fun going back. I learned some just by going back to find all these logos. So I was going through the internet to find logos of all pro wrestling video games. And for those that don't know, I say this a lot. And I say it so people understand when I seem stupid when it comes to wrestling video games for a guy who streams a wrestling video game 4 or 5 times a week. To understand it is I am a creator and a commentator. I produce the show. The game just plays. I do not play the game. Shout out to Chance, who's actually playing the game for me right now. 25 to unlock shit. So O'Reilly just took the lead, and now we're tied with 26 votes. Now Riley took the lead for first. So you guys in the chat will decide who goes first. All right, this is going to be fun. Then from that point, they will pick from this board. Like, I didn't know. You guys in the chat, let me know. What's your favorite all-time pro wrestling, wrestling video game? If I could spell wrestling right, that would be good. Favorite all-time wrestling video game. Let me know in the chat now while I'm getting us started to bring these guys on. All right, we got WCW Nitro, all the different SmackDowns. I remember the Def Jam one where they took rappers and stuff. WCW NWO Revenge. For some reason, I think that might be one of the ones I had. All the 2K games. You see 2K at the top. All Stars, Slam Masters, WrestleMania, Mayhem, Just Bring It. A lot of you guys who are gamers, I see most people will vote for one of the SmackDown ones. And No Mercy. I've seen No Mercy a lot. Let's see what you guys say. SmackDown versus Raw 2008 gets a vote. There's Hardcore Play and Rewind. That's either Mitch or one of the boys from Hardcore Sports Network. Favorite all-time wrestling video game. And we're going to quiz our two guests here. No Mercy is always an answer that I see with that. Showdown Legends of Wrestling. Azrael says Raw. Don't have one. I don't either. I could say 2K, but right now I'd like to strangle everyone who is involved with 2K wrestling video game. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, due to its different modes. What modes did it have, Retro? Or you can save that for a question. We're going to give you time. If the contestants pick the category of chat, have your questions ready. But if someone posts a question, hold your question. They don't try to give it away that's a question we're going to use. You know what I mean? I'm going to take the first question in the chat. There might be two because you're all trying at the same time. But it's all a test. We'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll do this against SmackDown Raw 2, SmackDown Raw 08, WWF. Which one, Joker? NWO Revenge got me into this hobby. For some weird reason, I think that might be, it's Mitch. There you go. Wrestling Booking Revolution. Yeah, that opens up the conversation to other games that aren't just like 2K20. I thought someone would say 2K21 to Hardy, har. Greatest game ever. There you go. 22 was worse than 20? I don't know, Tenu. I mean, it's basically been 2K19.1, 2K19.2, 2K19.3, all the WWF ones. There you go. 13, there you go. WWE 13. Warzone's another one for JW. All right, so we figured we'd come up with some categories. These are going to be the categories. Games, match types, features, and chat choice. Digital Wrestling Video Game Jeopardy. The contestants will be brought on. They will pick $1 from any of the $20 amounts. A question they do not have to answer in the form of a question or anything like that. We're not going to get technical. Right now, Riley has a 54% lead in the vote with 28 votes. Tiffany's here. Get your votes in now. If the first person gets it right, they will get the dollar amount. There are bonus dollar amounts in some of the questions. If they don't get it right, the other contestant can try to steal the money. No, I'm not reading any of your comments. That's what you do to me, Mitch. Mitch loves Orange Cassidy. Why is Orange Cassidy the greatest of all time? I don't know. Mitch. Pretty damn good. EPW is my favorite. Also, I do wrestling promotions and the wrestlers in them. Bader versus Kamala on an All Japan ring. Little Extreme Wrestling. There are no double Jeopardies. All right. Why does it always loop? Don't loop track. There you go. All right. So this will be your board. I have all the questions up as banners. Actually, if the whoever gets first pick wants a gimme. I already showed him one of the questions by accident. And here are your contestants tonight. Odds Cornette and Riley Wolf. Let's bring on our first contestant. He's the one that gave me this idea. In questioning his knowledge, another one came forth. Our first contestant for the first ever digital wrestling video game Jeopardy. It's Odds Cornette.
Yes, thank you. Hold your applause.
I can't.
Greetings and salutations.
All right, are you ready to play, bro?
Yep.
All right, well, let's bring on our other guest. He wanted a challenge. Had a little game of Jeopardy and say, I think I might know more than you. So we compiled questions, and now we bring on the man of 1,000 faces, the loudmouth himself. You'll find out here in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Riley Wolf.
It's that R-I-L-E-Y, the smartest man in digital wrestling, as you will see here tonight.
Thanks for wearing the shirt. I appreciate that. That's
Of course.
True character work there. True character. Odds gave us his normal salutation coming in, and I appreciate that. So, all right. We are going to... We have 29 votes already on the poll. That's pretty amazing. I'm going to give a last opportunity for everybody in the chat. If you have, here's a reminder. If you have a question, please hold your question until someone picks chat choice dollar amount. And if they pick a chat choice dollar amount and you see that someone posts a question, don't post your question. Just try to hold it. So if you have one written down, if we don't get any, that's fine. We do have, I think, 2. Let me see if we got another one in our DMs. Oh, I like this one. All right. I'm going old school with my Word file with all these on here. Ooh, that one might have to be a 400 or 500 question. All right, let me plop it in. That's what she said. All right. Are you guys ready to play?
Yep.
I was born ready.
All righty. I think I had one more question that was sent to me in DMs. Does anybody else have a question they sent me in DMs? Wait, here's... No. And no. All right. I thought I had one here. Here it is. All right. This is a good one, too. So we do have 3 chat questions already. So we only might need 1 or 2 from you guys. Maybe we can save it for the $500 one. If we even get to that point. All right, let me save this one. So we have 1, 2, 3. That one's tough. I mean, I don't even know the game, so it's tough for me to say what's a tough question and what's an easy question. Well, you guys know one easy question, and let's get to all right, 30 votes and end the poll. Riley Wolf, with 53% of the vote, has won the first pick. And go ahead, pick whatever you want first. You can take the gimme if you want. That's up there.
I'm going to go wrestling features for 100.
Features for 100. All right, here is your question. Now, keep in mind, you'll have time to answer the question. And people in the chat, try to refrain from type. Well, you guys just don't look at the chat. If you guys can do that, that would be great. I trust you guys. But if you are looking at the chat, people in the chat, try not to answer until they give their answer. All right, here's your question.
Plus, their answer could be wrong.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point, too. We're all learning. This is the first ever digital wrestling video game Jeopardy. And here's the first ever question. Who was featured in 2K23 showcase mode? All right.
2K23 showcase. I'm gonna say it was Beat John Cena.
Incorrect. And Odds has a chance to steal $100. Name who was the showcase in 2K23.
I think it was just John Cena because that's what got Beetle to buy the damn game.
AJ Styles was featured in showcase. 2K23.
Well, I didn't buy the game, so
Yeah, that's all right. Zero, no money.
the one WWE game that I've missed out of all these years.
That was one where he had like the gold AJ that you could win or whatever on it.
Wait, whoa.
That was 22.
No, that's 18.
That
Well, it was
was
WWE.
18.
It's
That was
18 or
18,
19.
wasn't it? It was either one.
Gold AJ Styles is 18 or 19.
Yeah. Well, this said that it was AJ was featured in 23 in the showcase mode. It was unless I Googled it wrong, no one's getting 100 no matter what. 2K19. Well, I didn't. Maybe it's not the gold one. All right, I fucked up the first question. That's all right. I gave you one anyway. All right. All right.
Yeah,
We're off to a
Ray
great
was
start.
22 count. Ray was
Tremendous.
22.
We're off to a great start. We can blame that one on me, not on Triple Beat.
Oh,
It's actually since the
I'll
answer
just
was
blame it on
wrong-
Triple Beat anyway.
For the answer was wrong, we're going to stay on Riley for the first pick since that question is now null and void.
All right.
I'll just blame it on Triple Beat anyway because it's
I
on
think
me.
we're gonna go games for 100. I think that was the gimme, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. This is first professional wrestling video game for 100, and if you get the console and the year, you also get an extra 25 points.
So I'm gonna talk out a little bit of my thought process because there's pro wrestling on the NES, but I know the generation before that there was definitely a wrestling game on that. So
Now,
I'm gonna say
keep in mind the literal words are first pro wrestling video game console game and year.
interesting. Okay. So actually, I'm going to say pro wrestling for the NES.
You
and
do get the 100. That's
year-
correct. You do get the 100 for the name of pro wrestling. There was
Year-
wrestling games, but they weren't labeled as professional wrestling before that. There was just like a wrestling, like way back in the Pong era
Okay.
or whatever.
The year
Or
was
handheld and stuff.
1983, I want to say.
No, it's
No,
80. It's 83 is your
Oh,
answer. It's 80. What was your second guess?
It was going to be 84.
It's 87 was the first year.
87, that
But
makes
that's
sense.
Off by
100.
a little bit.
So that now goes to Riley for 100 and odds. You only get the 100. You don't get the bonus. All right. So now it's up to odds to pick a category.
Games for 100, Alex.
That's the one we just picked. See, I can't cross them off, unfortunately.
I thought this was a high budget.
If I had OBS, I could. If I was using OBS, I could update it.
Match types for 100.
So games and features 100s are gone now. Match types for 100, and all 300s will be gone. All right, let's see if I got this one wrong. What game had the first ladder match for 100? And then if you have the console and the year, you get a bonus 25.
I believe that was WWF WrestleMania 2000 for the N64.
The answer is WWF No Mercy 99.
I was close.
Very close.
I was going between the two.
You were one game away.
I was going between the two. I was mulling it in my head between the two.
That's all right. Now back to Riley.
All right.
100 to nothing.
I picked the one game I still have somewhere.
You know what? Let's see what the chat has for us. Chat's choice 100.
Okay, we're going with the first chat one. I think I put it in here. Did I put it in here? Here it is. Chat for 100 is... I had it all ready there. Oh, I'm now echoing. Ooh, this is going to be a good one for you. This one I got from Blade Charge. In DMs. I don't have to say chat 100 twice. So here's your question. Hold on, let me edit it because I want it to be perfect. In 2K19, what was the name of the song and artist that would blow your mind? And anyone who's played that game remembers that song.
Song and artist is gonna be difficult. I might know the song. It's called Passion, and I'm gonna throw it to Owl Nation.
And that's correct. That is correct. For 100.
I wouldn't have got that anyway because nowadays with modern games I just completely try to turn the music off and get some good music.
Well, I think that was now in like if you turn the jukebox off on 22, 23, and 24, I know it doesn't play any songs at the beginning, but I think in 19, even though I did that because I did it for all these games, it still played Blow My Mind, Blow My Mind every time you started up the game. All right, so that was
the
Riley,
one time you hear it and then you just hear silence.
So all the hundreds are gone. This one is back on odds.
All right. Features for 200, Alex.
Features for 200. What female wrestler was on the cover of the European copy of the WWE SmackDown 2 Know Your Role for 200?
Well, based on time period. Based on time period, that would be...
Yes, look, that's the Project Shogun goes, that song was so damn annoying after a while. It blew my mind.
Based on time period, that was probably Sable.
Oh, China. I'm gonna let you guys switch. I shouldn't give the answer.
I completely forgot that she was real big at that point.
I'm gonna make an executive. We're gonna make, since I've already given away a couple of the answers before the steal.
I was between Sable and Trish. I knew Trish wasn't right.
We're gonna start the steals in the 300 or more to make it even more interesting. So if you take the 200s, which there's 3 200s left, let's see, that's features for 200. I'm just crossing them off here, so I have it. Now it's back to Riley.
I'm gonna go games for 200.
All right, let me update this first. For 200, and it's 200-0 right now, and he says games for 200. What is the first WWE wrestling arcade video game for 200? If you get the year, it's an extra 25.
I'm gonna say WrestleFest 1990.
Oh. You are one game away, just like odds. WWF Superstars 1989.
Oh, yes!
I'd have went with WWF WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that was mid-90s.
That's a tough one. All right, so 200 for games is taken. So you have all the 300s, 400s, 500s, and then match for 200 is left. And it's on odds.
Match types for 200.
Okay, we're going to clear off the 200 board. The debut of this match type was in the game WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
Technically, there's two, but
True.
one.
I'm thinking of the other one.
Well, just to be
there's
safe,
two. Let's.
just to be safe,
I'll go with the. I'll
just
go
to
with the
be
one.
safe.
I'll go with the one that everyone.
Name them both, just to be safe.
Yeah, I'll go with the first the one that everyone wants to remember, Buried Alive, and the second one that no one wants to remember, Fulfill Your Fantasy match.
Why does it say that it was Elimination Chamber?
No.
Elimination Chamber was Here Comes the Pain. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain was Elimination Chamber.
The first wrestling video game with Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it was SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
It was.
Because they promoted it.
All right, we scrapped another one. You get to pick again. I swear that's another one to blame me. I shouldn't have picked any of these.
You know what? I think Buried Alive was first debuted in 06, so I'd say we give odds the point. There were casket matches beforehand, but specifically Buried Alive was debuted in SVR 06.
That and Fulfill Your Fantasy, but no one wants to remember Fulfill Your Fantasy for a good reason.
Okay, then we'll tie it up at 200. And if you want to be, that's fair.
I'm a fair man, Blaise.
You are now you're making me say that. All right, so we're now at 200 apiece, and now we get into the nitty gritty. All the 200s and 100s are gone, and it's back to Riley.
I'm gonna say I just shrunk a little. Games for 300.
See, now I am going to blame Triple B because I sent all of these questions to him and he approved them. I wanted backup because I don't know these games, and all I did was use Google. Surprise, surprise.
Well, let's start the hashtag. Let's start the hashtag.
Start the hashtag. Blame him a little bit.
Blame Beetle.
Because I said I want you to proofread them just in case. He runs away.
You get back here, damn it.
Which one did you say? I'm sorry.
I said games for 300.
Games for 300. Cross it off. Games for 300. Let's see if we got this one right. What game was the first to have universe mode?
Oh, that is... You put the ball on the tee for me there. That's SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, which came out in the year of 2010. October 2010.
I think you said 2010. I thought you were going to say...
No!
That's it. You're right. You are correct.
Ha-ha!
No, for universe mode, it was 10. It was 2010.
That's what I said, 2010. He said it. He said 2010. He said, what? Say the whole thing again, Riley.
The game that it came out in was SVR 11, which came out in the year 2010.
You're wrong. It is 2010.
No way.
It was SmackDown vs. Raw 2010.
I will turn on my.
It was
PS3
SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, where universe mode debuted.
The game.
Yeah, SVR 2010. I thought you were. I thought you were saying it was 2010, but it was the game. You said the name of the game is 2011. Damn, you just gave.
If I lose by 300, if I lose by 300,
you just gave him 200.
And I find that this is actually right.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's right. Universe mode debuted in SVR 2010.
Everyone's saying 10. I thought you were going to cover yourself by saying, but the name of the game was 2010. You said it was 11 that came out in 10. You were close. All right, now everything. Well,
11 was their second outing for universe mode.
Match 300 and feature 300s open, and all the 4s and 5s are open odds.
So wait, hold on. Actually, I'm gonna die on this hill. My WWE was first made in 2010, where you can switch people's brands and titles, but the actual name WWE Universe Mode was 11, and I will do my.
I asked for the name of the game. I needed the name of the game, not what year it came out. I needed the name of the game, not the year, and you had them mixed up. Because you said the name was 2011, but it came out in 2010. But it's 2010. The name of the game is not 2011.
Mhm.
You literally said the name of the game was 2011.
I will prove my innocence after the stream.
Prove it. All right, so
Features for 500.
well, you're going for the 500. Features for 500.
Let's go for the jugular.
Because right now it's still 2-2. 200, 200. Features for 500. All right. Now we're looking for a name of the game. 2K24 was the first time since this game not to feature Edge. He's been in every game since this game.
Since I believe that was WWF Attitude.
Warzone. Sorry, I just didn't. I should have let
And I knew it was one of them. I knew it was one of them.
No steals in this game.
They were so
I can't let you guys have steals now.
They came out so close. They came out so close to each other.
I ruined the whole game. I'm an idiot.
They came out so close to each other, but
I can still do 400s and 300s can be steals. The 500s can't be stolen now. I'm trying to help, but I keep fucking up. I'm so quick to give the answer, but that gets the 5 off the board now. Riley, all the 400s, 2 300s, 250, 2 500. Games.
I'm gonna go games 400.
Games 4. All right. Let's see how I fucked this one up. What name was SmackDown vs. Raw released as in Japan? It wasn't called.
I know this one. It's like Excitement Pro Wrestling.
It's a what? Wait, what is this? This is a 400. Do you guys want to do the steals? I can let Odd steal it before I say it. Because the 3s and 4s will do steals.
I don't know it.
Okay. Because you are so close, but you're wrong. It's Exciting Pro Wrestling.
That is so semantical.
Exciting Pro Wrestling 6 is the name of the game.
So
it's not
we're talking
exciting.
specifically about the first SmackDown vs. Raw release.
What was SmackDown vs. Raw released at? It's exciting.
Yeah, the original SmackDown vs. Raw, aka as the fans have dubbed it, SVR 05.
Exciting.
I thought about it and
it's so close.
read it as the SmackDown vs. Raw series, but it is what it is.
The word is exciting, though, not exciting. That was close. That was close. That was 500. So there's 500 for games. So games is done.
Games is done. Okay.
You got match 3, 4, 5, feature 3 and 4.
Match for 500.
Are we still tied at 200?
I believe so.
Yeah. So there have been a bunch of real close ones. Match for 500?
Yep.
All right. Match type 500. How do you unlock the Iron Man match in WWE Day of Reckoning?
Yeah, have it be the one console I never had.
This is a tough one.
Same here.
Dude.
Has to be something with a career mode.
Look, even
It
Project
was back
Shogun's
then.
like, oh my god, it's exciting Pro Wrestling 6. Sports entertainment will never be the same.
That's a reference to the
commercial.
SmackDown vs. Raw original SmackDown vs. Raw commercial that I sometimes play on my show.
Oh, that's it.
Where JR says that
proves it, Riley. It says exciting. Everyone
Leave me alone. Let me tease to my GameCube.
Yeah, I never had one of those. I was a PlayStation guy. After the N64, I was a PlayStation guy, so I completely missed it.
Riley,
you could steal it. I don't because I never played
500. It. Do you want to try to steal it, Riley? You don't know what it is.
I'll take a guess.
Yeah.
Beat Triple H at WrestleMania in season mode.
It's beat Triple H and The Undertaker in WrestleMania.
Oh! I should at least get half of that.
No.
Come on.
That's a 500. I can't give you any of that. That's hilarious.
Oh my God! All these semantics are what is
the man of 1,002
semantics
faces. Semantics, Riley Semantics Wolf. Riley's so close, Wolf. Now the man of 1,002 faces. Close but no cigar.
Riley, this may end with us in a tie.
Well, it is at 200 right now, and there's only 4 left. And I will give you the ability to steal either one.
Oh my gosh.
300 and 400 for feature, plus there's still chat ones if you want to go to a chat one. There's 2 chat questions left. And then we can still ask.
Let me get a chat question. I think it's my go, right?
Let me give you the second chat question. This one better be right. This is from Azriel.
Better be.
He said he double checked it, and it
well,
was
no,
right.
Damn it.
He said he double checked it. All right. It's probably wrong. I'll kill you if it's wrong. All right, let me make sure I don't have the answer in there. All right. This is straight from him. What game requires you to steal gear from other superstars' locker rooms to attempt to unlock it?
Ooh, that would have to be Azrael's favorite game of all time, which he put in the chat. Raw 2.
It is. It is Raw 2.
I know that too because New Legacy Inc. played that game.
That's the only reason I know it as well.
Yes.
Raw 2 is absolute garbage.
Because I never had an Xbox.
Okay. So now
for anyone that doesn't know, the Raw series was the Xbox variation of the SmackDown series. That was them trying to make a franchise.
All right, let me get that one off of there. And then it's back to odds. You have 3, 4, and 5 under chat, 3 and 4 under feature, 3 and 4 under match.
All right, feature for 300.
Features for 300. This one's probably going to be wrong. Or you're going to debate it. I knew there would be debate on some of the questions.
Who knows? We'll see. We could agree.
We
could agree.
This one was kind of technical, and I did double check it. And then the next question, this is actually a 2-part question.
I love technical.
So this one has a $25 bonus on it. Actually, it should be a 50 bonus.
I'm intrigued.
Features 300. Oh, it is a 50 bonus. First video game to have Create a Wrestler for 300. And then if you get the first WWE game with Create a Wrestler, you get 50 more. So there's a hint for the first one. So if you say the first one right in its entirety, because we're being picky, you get that. You get the 300. You get the bonus 50, even if you can just guess the set. You don't have to get the first one right.
My first instinct says WCW/NWO Revenge.
For the first game of Create a Wrestler?
For the N64.
That is incorrect. Now, what do you think was the first what do you think was the first WWF? I'm going to let Riley have an option to steal the 300, but here's for the 50. The first WWE game to have Create a
First
Wrestler.
WWE game for Create a Wrestler? That would be WWF WrestleMania 2000 for the N64.
This says Warzone.
I would have said that.
I let you. I'm saying
that's also not. That's also not surprising. I completely forgot those 2 games have Create a Wrestler.
The first one,
Warzone and Attitude. I completely forget. There's 2 of them, Warzone and Attitude. And I completely forget both of them. For the steal
for the 300 for Riley, the first game with a Create a Wrestler mode.
So it is definitely a Fire Pro Wrestling game, 100%. But you're being very specific, and yes. I think I have an idea that I don't know the exact name
He's
of
gonna
it,
be
but
so
I know.
close again.
Yeah, I know.
So close, but yet so far.
But guesses have worked for me before, and I'm gonna say Fire Pro Wrestling Tag Team Turmoil.
Is that the third one? It's Fire Pro Wrestling 3.
Oh! I don't think it has a subtitle.
No, it's Fire Pro Wrestling 3.
Because Fire Pro Wrestling Tag Team something is its own little thing.
I was surprised because I'm not really into Fire Pro. I just know the ones that it came back. I didn't realize it was the first game that had a Create a Wrestler.
Yes,
that's amazing. So
I did not know that either.
600 to 200.
I never played Fire Pro Wrestling. So
yeah, I when I saw that, I was like, let me double check it just to be sure. So Riley now has the 400. He got the 200 from the other one. So now 400 to 200, and we just used features for 3.
Oh, I know why. So the first Fire Pro Wrestling, that was the subtitle, Tag Team something. That's the first ever Fire Pro Wrestling game. Was specifically for tag matches.
So there's match for 3 or 4. There's feature for 4, and there's chat for 3, 4, or 5.
I'm gonna say match for 3.
Right. There might be more than one answer, but which match made its first appearance in SmackDown Raw 2010? If there's more than one, give me more than one answer, because this one, I definitely double-checked it.
I think it's just the one.
Okay, you might have it if you get it.
I'm going to say, especially because it's around the same time this match actually debuted in the WWE, it's the Championship Scramble.
Yes!
That's right. That's right. I completely... I missed that damn match.
Well, we got the Iron Survivor now, which they should be putting in the games.
I know.
If you're watching this 2K devs, put Iron Survivor in the damn game.
Please.
That was another one I was very surprised at.
Please. I want it back. I want my Championship Scramble back. It was so much fun.
So match for 3 picks. So odds, now you got chat 3, 4, and 5, and you got match 4 and feature 4.
Match types 4.
Match. We're going to close out match types.
Pretty much.
All right. Oh, goodness gracious. This is another one I looked at. I'm probably wrong. You got a $25 bonus in here, too. Riley can only steal the 400. It was the first pro wrestling video game with a steel cage. Steel cage.
A steel?
A stale cage.
I don't know if any game has ever had a stale cage.
There, I've corrected it.
No, it was the 18 Scrap Trap. That was the stale cage.
The first pro wrestling video game with a steel cage. That's the name of the game. And then for a bonus 25, the console in the
first one with a steel cage.
You're down by 500. This is for 400.
It has to. I'm between 2. I'll just go with my instinct of one of the first ones I played. Go back again. WWF WrestleMania 2000 N64.
WWF WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge.
I wanted to steal that one. You said 400 to steal.
I know. I forgot.
Can I get the extra 25 so I can? Because you didn't say the console of the year.
If you knew it, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to trust you.
It's the NES 1991.
92.
And that's why
always by one.
That's why I did, and that's why I didn't know it, because it's the NES.
You,
the only time I ever played an NES was my brother's hand-me-down NES. Well, SNES. I never played the original.
The next one we'll have is going to be all 2K questions. It'll be all 2K.
Oh, he's going to stomp me on this.
Who knows? We'll see. I could get things wrong.
So I did give him the steal, because he did get the steal. Well, we trust you as well as you gave us the honor system. We'll give you the honor system. So that was the end of matches. You got feature for 400 odds, and you got chat for 3, 4, or 5. still room to come back. You're down by 9, and there's 16 out there.
We'll clear up features. Features for 400.
Wait, it's my go now, isn't it?
Oh, is it your go?
It is.
I think it is. He pitched to me.
I was going.
Oh,
to
that was a
steal
steal.
that
That's right. Riley stole that one. Yeah, Riley
Yeah.
stole it. Okay, it's on Riley. 400 feature and 345 chat.
I feel like the chat's been missing out. Let me get chat 3. That we've been ignoring the chat too much. Put some up on the screen right now. Give some love to the chat.
Well, the chat has the final 2 questions because I got one more. This is from Monstar. This is not an easy one. Wait, let me go. All right. I don't know if you're going to get this one.
Probably 2K
Here
related.
we go. This is chat 300, and then we'll pick 2 from the actual live chat. This is the last one that got sent to me. And this got sent to me by Figure It Monstar. In the game at WCW NWO Revenge, in the EWF category of the players wrestlers in the game, what was the name of the wrestler that resembled Frankenstein's monster?
Oh, I like that question because I loved those characters in Revenge. His name was Dr. Frank.
And that is correct.
Boom!
And I believe he was also a unlockable in WCW Nitro for PlayStation 2.
So we got 1,300 left.
Whew.
No, we don't. 1,100 left. And this game is officially over. There's 11. Yep, you're up by 1,200, and there's 1,100 left. We're gonna play it out.
All right.
So odds, you got 400 feature and 400 and 500 chat.
All right. 400 feature.
WWE 13 cover with CM Punk, but who headlined the collector's edition?
Ooh.
Technically, I should know this. I think I had the collector's edition, but it's been so damn long ago. It was 13, and if I remember correctly, 13, I believe. No, that was 14. Yeah, 13 was Mr. Jacob Cos. I'll take a shot in the dark and say The Rock.
No, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's over anyway.
Damn it, I was close.
We got 2 questions.
Now I remember.
left.
Now I'm remembering it because of the commercial. The
since-
damn commercial had Austin and Austin and Punk.
Yeah, Monstar loves it too. So the game's over, but I do want to let the chat ask you 2 a couple questions. So I think Riley had one. I mean, not Riley. I mean, Count Z. If you guys can pop them back in there again if you want. So we'll do a couple chat questions now to close out. Oh, here it is. Here's one. Either you guys can answer. Which game was first introduced? Create a finisher.
I do know that.
That was SVR. That was SVR 09. I remember because in SVR 09, that was their apology for how bad SVR 08 was. And to put this into perspective, THQ got death threats for 08.
Oh, geez. That's not very nice.
It wasn't, but they made wisecracks for it. It was they had like one of the first live streams at the time showcasing the game. And they made like wisecracks to the fact that they were getting like death threats. And the last game was 2K14.
Last WWE game to have create a finisher. Riley,
so
you know that one?
Part of me does say 2K14, but we also had we had other games on that generation of consoles, so I don't know. I keep
forgetting that.
Odds already said 14.
Yeah,
Part of
he
me
did
wants
say-
to say that like part of me wants to say 2K17.
Wasn't this
And
the
like
same
actually
question?
want to check. Do I have 17 on the 360?
Create a finisher. Create a finisher. Yeah, that was the same question, wasn't it?
It was. It was first and last, which Odds did answer. But like part of me is curious and might make me want to take down 2K17 on the PS3.
I always forget that the games went to 17 on the last gen console.
I did. I have.
I always forget that.
So bear in mind, the reason I keep looking up is because my entire wrestling games collection is just on a giant shelf, almost like a shrine.
Nice.
And I have near every single game from SmackDown to 2K24. I have pretty much all the WCW games, a bit of the oddballs here and there. I have everything on the GameCube. I'm working on the Xbox versions. I have the John Cena edition of 2K18 just staring me right at the face. Biggest thing on here. Funny enough, I have a plug and play version of WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge, which, fun fact, that was released when Hulk Hogan wasn't employed by the WWE. I think it was after he got released for the scandal. So they replaced every mention of Hulk Hogan sprites and everything with the Ultimate Warrior.
Wasn't that around the time when Hulk Hogan in New Japan called the WWF World Title a trinket?
Jeez.
So the original release, that was 92, I think Blaise said. That Hogan was still around, but I'm saying the re-release plug and play version that got released afterwards was released around the same time that Hogan got fired from the WWE because of the scandal. So they replaced every single like mention of Hulk Hogan with Ultimate Warrior.
Without
and they didn't like Ultimate Warrior at the time either.
Without looking in the chat, unless you already did, in the game TNA Impact, who was the superstar you played with that had a
Suicide?
Suicide! Come alive!
That's a good one.
It was, and I'm sorry, I hated that character, and I hated that they used it on the actual show.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 was the debut of a different mode that never made it to PS4 2K games. What mode was it?
That was, I want to say, like, it's like a weird career mode almost, I think. No, that was like, oh wait,
Story designer.
Yeah.
I was going to say when was Create a Story or Story Designer? When was that? Is that what it is?
2010.
Yes.
It happened at the same time. Universe mode and Story Designer were made
okay.
at the exact same time. SVR.
So hold on.
Can't they be the
right?
same? Can't they be the same thing?
Game is over.
No,
right?
Universe mode was created for chaos. Universe mode was created for chaos.
It's time.
I mean, Create a Story in Universe. If I was going to make a mode for a game and I got one called Create a Story and one called Universe mode, I would probably do one mode that did both.
That's what the fans have been wanting for years.
I think that's the root of it. If they would have done that day one instead of trying to do two different modes, we may already have the sandbox that we're wishing for creations.
Blaise, fans have been wanting that for years, and 2K has literally said they don't know how to do that.
Riley was right about Universe, by the way. So
I was. Give me that extra 300.
He was not. He was not. I will die on this hill.
Google it right now.
I will die on this hill. No, he was not.
2010.
Pull up the game right
was
now.
that the 2010, 2011 one? Yeah.
Please let's pull up the game. Universe mode came out in 2010. SBR 2010.
2010, correct? But the game was
SBR 2010.
No.
Wait a minute. He's right. I was
wrong. Boom.
So the first time I looked it up, I got that question from a list of questions, and it had the wrong year in it. It had the year that it was released, not the year of the name of the game. So Riley was right. We had it backwards.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Okay. Any other questions from the chat? Next time we'll do like a specific game or a specific series. I think 2K would be fun just to do the 2K games. Yeah, there was one question someone asked: who has the most appearances in wrestling video games? Like what WWE performer? Is he the one?
It has to be Undertaker or Awesome.
Well, if all the duplicates within the last 5 games counted, it would be Cena because there are like 5 Cenas in every game.
Probably.
That's one that someone was asking, but I said, "Is that the only one?" I was like, "Is there someone else that's close, or do you know for sure it's
No,
the Undertaker?"
not even close. It's either Taker or Austin, and
No,
based
Taker has
on
another
Austin having
additional
some
5
falling
years.
outs, it has to be Taker.
Yep. That's the answer I kept getting, but I kept thinking I didn't get a definitive or like a number or something. Because then again, are you talking about just WWE games or all games? But even if you count all games that aren't WWE, it's not going to include too many more names that aren't WWE. So, and
Well,
there's way
unless we
more
count those
WWE than
games
anything else.
that did the Fire Pro style and switched their names up to avoid copyright,
Yeah, I
because
wouldn't.
an Undertaker would still win.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which wrestler was in 2K, UFC, Fire Pro Wrestling World?
Brock Lesnar.
That would make sense.
Brock wouldn't have been, unless we're talking like duplicate, like, because
The same thing.
the
Did they
official
call
Fire
him
Pro Wrestling
Work
World,
Laser?
maybe, I don't know, but the official Fire Pro Wrestling World roster with included only real names is just New Japan in like 2016 and Stardom. So
We got rapid fire questions now. What about this one? When did the paint tool debut? What game?
That is
that was 2010.
2010.
Anything modern creation pretty much was invented in 2010, because that game, the selling point was you can create everything and anything.
Yeah. So that is like
THQ was at that point.
World.
At that point, THQ, because of everything that happened with SVR 08, they really went back to the drawing board with 09, fixing the AI, fixing tag matches, fixing everything, and then then with 2010 they fixed everything else.
Yeah,
went to creation, fixed creation.
Sometimes they
kept doing everything known to. They kept fixing everything after the debacle of 08.
Well, that's a good. And Tenu, sometimes we've had The Undertaker 4 or 5 times in the last few games. Same thing with Cena, 3 or 4 of them. So it's not everyone doesn't have 4 or 5. It's just like there's been a couple the last few years that are either featured or other options. And there's been Jack Laser was the name for Brock in Wrestling Revolution. Jock Laser. All right, so we'll do more more game shows like
or if you go with the 5-star wrestling game, I believe Brock Lesnar's name in that game was like Ragnarok.
I'll try to get a new set of questions and try it again. I know I screwed up a couple
of them. For any of those that remember that game, remember that short-lived game.
So as our final thoughts, is there anything we'll start with Riley that you want to cover about? Have you even started 25 at all or got it?
I don't have 2K25 because of the modern video game developers' fixation on going all digital. And I am a physical collector, so 2K has made it incredibly hard for me to both have the game physically and to have all the features that they are giving in this game. So it's almost soured me to the idea of getting the game. So
I could see that.
Who knows if my channel goes to 2K25 anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm kind of on that same attitude level, but for different reasons.
Oh yeah, and for anybody wondering how and why New Jack is even remotely thought about being added as DLC, we can thank Nick Khan for that. He's a big New Jack fan.
There you go.
He actually,
all in all,
he actually did that. He actually made sure of it. He pretty much said, "Guys, New Jack is going to be in the game. I'm talking to them right now."
I mean, we've talked in ad nauseum the last few shows about the split community creations, which we understand why. We already talked about it. You know, the evolution of the game is going to get rid of the old consoles. The hardware can't take it. They want to do more, blah, 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 blah. But I think it's just a coincidence. They could have done this 2 or 3 years ago or never had cross-gen because, you know, now that I learned a little more, the PS4 being so old as it is right now, it needs to kind of fall off. It's about time to move forward.
Actually, Blaise, I've said this before. I've even said this on the Let's Talk CAW Shop podcast. They could have made this a lot simpler. All of the consoles are connected, and they could have given PC a little thing called a mod kit, and then leave them be on their own island.
speaking of the island, that's where I was getting at with what I was saying. I think it's just a coincidence.
I don't care.
That we're getting.
I don't give to. I'm
me
sorry.
Either,
I
me
have.
Either. Just let me finish my point. The island. I mean, just the fact. Like I said, they could have done this cross-gen thing a couple of years ago so they could advance the game. Is what my understanding is from watching the interviews and stuff. There's things that the PS4 and some PCs can't handle. Now, at the same time, there's a ton of PC gamers that say my PC's 10 times stronger than the PlayStation and the Xbox put together. But because of the mods, because of other stuff, I mean, I get it. But this island thing shows what we can do. But I think, it's just kind of a coincidence we're getting them both at the same time. And I just keep hearing every day new problems with community creations, with and this is not even talking about what I ranted about for the first hour and a half on my first 2K25 stream, which is so much shit that's unlocked, like ankle tape from someone you unlock in my faction. Like, why? Like the Trons and stuff. I mean, if you want to lock that CAW or a really specific gear item, I understand. And I understand the island specifics that are locked, like the Nike stuff and the branded stuff. I'm a businessman. I understand all the business and money aspects to it. I don't have a problem with them adding the island for money because that's the name of the game right now. They're making a Fortnite mode. They're making a GTA mode. I've said it before. I want EFED Island.
There is no Fortnite mode as far as I can see.
Well, that's what I mean, the idea of an open world is like a Fortnite mode. But I don't really care either. I mean, I was on it for 5 minutes.
It's pretty much NBA. It's an NBA mode. It's done NBA style. Many people that have played NBA have already predicted this a few years ago.
Like I can sit here and rant on all the bad things.
I'm not even going to rant. I'm not even going to rant about it. I'm just going to finish my point.
Good.
I believe in this community that if they try anything like they do with NBA, we're going to push back on it. And we're not going to take it. I believe in this community that much that we're going to not take any of that bullshit.
I agree. And that's a great point. I do agree. But I mean, why do they have to fix so much though, Triple Beat? It's like I let it slide for the past 3 games. I watched Vince McSham, great dude, friend of the network, real cool dude. He's been doing eFeds for 20 years. 2 years ago, he was fed up with it because he would always say, why are they fixing things and then other things are broken? Or why, and when a new game comes out, there's stuff from the last game that worked just fine, now doesn't work. I'm a man that always believes there's a reason. They had a problem like the barricade. Why can't I put a pattern and my logo and pattern it on the barricade? I love doing that. It made my arenas look like mine and only mine. I can't do it no more. I figured there has to be a reason. Sure enough, Brian Williams in the interview said there was a reason. Good. I can deal with that. But for the past 3 games, it's gotten worse. Like each year there's a pile. Like I didn't do it this year because I got sick to my stomach. Every year I have a piece of paper like this, 2K22 problems. And I write down everything that our community has found. I have one for 22, 23, and 24. I stopped doing it this year because I'm writing down brand new things that we never had a problem with. Like, I'm happy we got the next match button back, yes. But universe mode is the same fucking thing. The cutscenes are the same. The options are the same. Sure, I could have 2 nights of a pay-per-view and 3 shows in a day on the universe mode calendar. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What if I'm doing right now in 24? I'm ending my first show. I'm doing next show, and I'm loading up 3 more matches. I can already do 2 nights in a row. I can already do back-to-back shows. You just have to load the matches you know what I'm saying? But it's like this petty shit that every day since the release of this game, and it just came out Friday, technically, every day I will go on social media and see something else, the community, and it's not always creations. There was people that couldn't get into My Rise at all. Like, how do you let a game?
Yeah, and that was fixed.
And like,
and that was fixed. And My Rise is one of the best. Is one of the best My Rises that this game has had in a long time. My Rise actually finally has a freaking identity, and this is going to be a version of the story of My Rise this year is going to be remembered for generations to come.
The game is fabulous.
More than any of the other ones ever will be.
I'm not.
All of them
I
are
mean,
going to be forgotten. Besides this one,
they're robbing us of the experience because you're right, Odds. The look of the characters are great. The game is phenomenal. What they have given us that's supposed to work would be great if all the little things were working too. But like, just I mean, yes, My Rise is great, but don't you think all those people?
yeah, but at the same time, Blaise, when it comes to social media, everything you see, you have to take with a grain of salt because they're going to bitch about even the
I'm
smallest
not talking about what they
about
don't.
the smallest little grain of sand.
You're right. But I'm not talking about general complaints that I don't like the game. I'm talking about specific. Why can't we do this? And we had it in 24. Like literally little simple things like setting your main picture as your entrance attire, and you can't do it. You go into community creations. There's no recent. You can't look at the recent ones. I've heard some explanations why, and that might be why, because there was so much porn on 24. They don't want that on the recent screen for kids to see. They're going to find it if it's there.
You know what I say to that? Bullshit.
Yeah,
there's been porn on CC since 2K15. Try me.
That just proves they're not
I hated
2K15
with an undying passion.
I'm not, and normally I would buy the excuse, hey, they put in so much into the island, you're not going to get anything in the other modes. I normally would buy that because I understand the business aspect of it. Okay, you're giving us 2K24 with a couple new matches.
Not when they've given so much other stuff to the game in the game.
There's a ton in the game this year, which I'm not complaining about. It's just it's I don't want to say it's 2K20 unplayable, but it's close to that for a lot of people.
It's not 2K20 unplayable.
I said close. I said it's not. I'm not saying it's getting close to it, but that's what it makes me want to compare it to. Now, there are some people on certain consoles and next gen that have had it worse so far.
Oh yeah,
you know.
But for me, I have a bias. My level of unplayable is Skyrim on launch day on PS3.
Well, let me ask you
if it's not that bad, I can play it.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know. I'm not a gamer. For maybe people in the chat that aren't gamers, besides NBA 2K, are there other gaming franchises that continuously have to patch their game in the first couple weeks?
I mean, that's every modern game.
That's every modern game.
In general, that's
I'm just for the general.
Where I step in. That's why I'm going to a lot of the retro stuff. I have a hatred for modern gaming because of the fact that we are stuck in this mindset. These game designers are stuck in this mindset of, oh, we'll patch it later. We have the internet at our disposal. There's no need to bring out a polished game. If you brought out a unpolished, broken mess of a game 3 generations back, you didn't sell games. Now you've conditioned the audience, you've conditioned your buyers into buying broken, unfinished games, and it's frustrating for a consumer, for a collector. Why do I want to buy your game if it's not working, and it's not going to be working in a year's time? I can't go back to the other 2K games and play like I would when it was fresh. But I can go back to WWF No Mercy and play exactly as I would play if I were to 20 plus years ago when the game came out. That is my problem with modern gaming.
I agree. Here's my hope. Because they're trying to do a open world, Fortnite, GTA, whatever you want to compare it to, type of world, I'm just hoping that means that eventually this will be a free game that they can just edit. Maybe that is one of the drawbacks. I mean, and that's been our complaint for the past 4 games.
I don't think it's going to get to there.
Even if it's $30, $40, $50 for the base game, and they just give you a huge patch after every year, because just like Riley's saying, the same frustration for physical collectors, you can't get them anymore. That's gone. It's going to be gone even more in the people that's never changing.
And people forget about patches. When it comes to wrestling games and patches. Wrestling games started doing the W series started doing patches around W12.
And the bottom line
before that they never did a patch. It was just we'll fix it in the next game.
I'm making the announcement right now, as I've already been hitting to it, just like Triple Beat says. I planned originally going to 25 beginning of April. Now I'm probably going to be May at least. I got another story that I want to run. It's going to be fine. I started thinking about it when I was doing the universe mode in 25 and I was live streaming. I'm going, what do I have with this game that I don't have if I just go stream on 24, continue for another month? And I couldn't, the look of the characters was the only thing I kept going back to, because in 25, they look fucking phenomenal. Like the details and the bruising and the body sweat and some of the hair physics are better. They look incredible. If the game performed...
The bruises are fantastic.
Even if the game performed 15 or 20% more than it is now, I think I wouldn't be as upset. But this is the third or fourth game, which we're getting the same shit. Yes, just like Beat said, at least they're patching it. It shows they care. They want to make it better. I get it. But at the same time, like Riley said, why give us something that's that broken? Because it keeps, I get that too. I get all ends of the coin. It's just
because they have a deadline.
Yeah, at this point, that's what I mean. If they didn't have a deadline, if eventually they make, here's what we should be praying for as creators, that the island makes them a gazillion million dollars so they can afford to make the game free, because they're making enough off the island. They can make it a lower power.
I'll go the opposite. We should pray that it fails, because that means they'll take it out, they'll go back to the drawing board and go back to what has worked.
Which I think is going to be a $130 game every year. And then you're going to pay.
No,
it's going to be the same
what
thing.
worked, what worked was going to us, the creators, the creation modes, because every single game previously, all the THQ era, we sold the games. We sold people on the games because with our creations, we made the games look better. If the game was good, we made it look fantastic. If we made it look, if it was fantastic, we made it look the greatest game of all time.
If there's no competition, this game will never evolve into that, though. That's the major issue, because 2K is going to make enough money just giving us the same fucking shit they have basically since 19. So, and I agree with you, Odds. I'm not disagreeing with you. There's both sides of it. If they got rid of the island, yes, they could concentrate a lot more on what we're looking at. I'm just saying maybe they do make enough. So I'm good either way. Either get rid of it, or it makes so much money that they realize they can make this an open world game where the base game is $50 every year. You get everything.
I'll take something from Monk. If it succeeds, every single thing in creation will be locked behind the island.
Yeah, see that
everything in creation will be locked behind the island, like NBA.
My hope, like you just said, if they start listening to us, there's enough backlash this year and probably next year about too much. Like, I understand shit being locked. I ranted about it for 5 hours the other day. I get it. It's money. It's unique stuff that you have sponsors that have their logo on it and stuff. I get that much. But like Hulk Rules t-shirt, I can upload an image that says Hulk Rules, put it on t-shirt. I got it. Like, it doesn't make sense. If it makes sense for me, I'm willing to give a lot to accept the game that I don't even play. And I'm the 1% of users, maybe less than 1% me, because I never play it. You know, put the EFED community, I think we're still only maybe 10% of users. Maybe. And I hear people, oh, EFED World's got, yes, it has gotten hugely bigger in the past 7 years, but it's not enough of the marketplace to make them start to focus on us more. That's obvious in the last 3 games. Now, like Odd just said, things could drastically change one way or the other, and they do start focusing on it. But what I'm also saying is, if we get 2 other games, if UPW or Virtual Wrestling or Virtual Basement ever come out, and they are good, whether they're photo quality or not, parts of that game could make them focus more on that. I hate to say this again, because I know everyone's going to shit on me, but we finally get some of the features after AEW's failed shit game had a couple of the features. So I'm sure 2K's developers are paying attention to the market, which right now the market
they just brought back features that were already there.
It's all them. Whether it's a coincidence or not, that game just had a couple things that now we have. And it's like, if we had 2 other games,
flat ass.
It was terrible. I'm not disagreeing. But if we have 2, what my point is, if we have 4, say we have 5 games in 2 years that are all creation and play, some of them are brand name guys, some of them are not. If there's 5 games, 2K will kind of be forced to raise their bar. And right now they don't need to. Why? We're all buying the game every year. And now I'm just to a point where I'm like, I don't want to play that game. It makes me sick. Plus, I have to change my whole setup because of it. That's a personal thing. That's just me. I'm a man of habit now.
Yeah, but people say that every year. If you just quit buying it,
Well, yeah,
and
that's a dumb argument.
if you just quit
It's the
buying it,
only
then they're gonna stop making it.
Yeah, it's the only photorealistic wrestling game that you can simulate an E-Fed bot. Only one. Fight me. No other game gives. I don't care about creations. I'm talking about giving you a TV product close to what you're seeing on TV with the cutscenes. If they give us just the look, that's all I'm talking about is the look, the characters, the voices. If you have the announcers, it feels like you're watching really wrestling, and it's weird. I've never asked for the world. I'm just fed up. I only want little things each game because I know all we have to do is we do our little twist and turns.
I'm a very simple person. All I want is story designer back.
Yeah,
because with all those cutscenes,
you're right.
Can you? With all those cutscenes from 2K14, we're like CPW right now would have so much fun. Would be so much.
So I'm
so much fun with so many different cutscenes.
I got to get a capture card. I got to go back to OBS. I know how to use it. I just got to stream by OBS on 2K25 because I want the full experience. I don't want to go back to less quality of my production because this thing doesn't work with the 5. I get it. The compatibility issue. It says it's made for it. I've looked at 20 other ones. They're all the same. So I got to change my setup. No big deal. I've always wanted to do it anyway. If I got OBS, I can do the commercials more, cut my own cut scenes. I can record them, put them wherever I want in the show, shit like that. It's just, I got to change all my habits, which is okay. But I was struggling over it for a while because I really want, just like everyone does, you want to jump into this new game and enjoy all these wonderful new things that we got. And it was like, yes, this year, look at all the things we got. It's like, I remember the last 3 years, we've got 4 or 5 things. We got the war games, we get little things here and there. And what they're doing, they're throwing us scraps. Here, creators, just be happy you got war games. But it's the same fucking Create an Arena. Like they couldn't give us more generic Trons. Like how hard is that? That takes up this much space. They do not care about people who don't want to use the game the way it's made. We've all said that. And that was Odds' first point, is if they start listening to us, I don't think they're going to. Until I start seeing interviewers say, we tested the game thoroughly, computer versus computer, to really see what all the match. Why do you think my game crashes? Because I'm using custom matches, custom CAW, custom logos, custom everything. And it's not tested for that. So we work around. I'm cool with that. But I am not playing this for probably another 2 months. I will do the universe mode thing. I'm going to stay on 24 and just enjoy it.
And I will always die on the hill. This series was built for creators, and this series has always been for creators.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want the world. I don't need perfection. I just need like a happy medium. Like I'm okay with having patches. But what do we get to in 24? 20 some patches? Maybe 10. If 10 patches over a year, that's like 1 a month almost. I can totally understand that because things will happen. I only count 4 because in the early release, it was already 1.2. It was, so we're only at 5 now. So we've only got 3 patches really after the first release. But still.
And that's standard.
It's a good, yeah. At this point, if the next one fix most of these problems and the game starts working better, I have no problem with damage control from it. I don't expect perfection, but if 3 months from now we're still talking about patch 21 already, that's insane, and that's what I'm afraid we're going to. This is just proactive me, and I'm saying I got not 99 calls.
Thank you, Beetle. Thank you, Beetle.
Yeah, and
thank you, Beetle.
Out of my 90, and this is just specific to me again, just an example, out of my 99 CAWs, almost, I would say 90% of the creations I'm going to do is duplicating the same fucking thing into the new game. Sure, different jacket, different hat, different logo on an arena, but overall, same. Like Blaise is going to be the same. I might put new shorts on him or something, but he'll be the same. How do I do his movesets? Pretty much the same. All the arenas I thought about making, I got all the logos ready, same. Like, because I want to build consistency like you are watching a TV show for 7 years with little upgrades as you go. Like, go back and watch an old show and the production value wasn't that great. If I take a step back now in production value, it doesn't help me at all. If anything, I want to take a step forward. So yes, here's the way I look at it, because I'm always a silver lining, other side of the coin type of guy. Maybe
you are.
This is pushing me to finally go to OBS like I should and produce a whole show like I want to, because I know I can entertain everybody with it. It's just the transition period. I don't feel like going through it right now. And to have such a great roster and such an amazing community coming to these summits, coming to the gathering, doing all these events, it's like, why would I drop all that to create for 3 weeks on a game where I've already seen people say, now I got to redo my tattoos. Now I got to go back and redo the face scan because they fixed that or whatever. Now I got to go back and redo the logos because they didn't have embossment before. Now they do. You know, it's like, I'm not doing double work for the same stuff. So I'm going to wait a couple months, which is what I normally want to do. And a lot of people are doing it. And I know OBS is better, but there's also drawbacks that I have complaints about OBS, which I can't change, you know, so because I'm very technical when it comes to software. I can learn anything. It just takes time. Like, I'm already a lot better with the PS5. I've only turned it on 4 times in the month I've had it, you know. But all in all, we do what we do every year when a new game comes out. We do our workarounds. We try to create as best we can. It just seems frustrating. It's kind of like when you got a taste of something really bad and you got to eat it again, but you're hoping it's better, but you know it's probably going to taste bad. That's what 20 did to us. It left us that sour taste in they can give us a completely broken game. Not that this one's broken. I think it's just mangled a little bit and they're working it out, which is a great sign. But anybody who's tasted that sour bullshit in 20, it's hard not to feel that way once you start seeing all these problems right off the bat. Trying not to be negative.
This looks like fine dining next to 2K20. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, and I'm with you on it. It's just I'm being proactive. I'm saying hopefully this levels out and the game starts working better. Because Monstar, here's another one who's very tolerant when it comes to these things. It's just a video game, blah, blah, blah. The matches are ending too quickly. You know, some of this shit's that, you know, it's the match philosophy now in some of these. We haven't even delved into that yet. Like, why are these AI versus AI matches ending this way? Look at the cage glitch I had the other night. The guy got caught between the ropes and the cage and phased himself through the cage to the outside. And it's like, some of those can happen. And me and Monstar, we've been working on it. We're testing sliders. We're trying to find out what can help. And you can tweak it to some extent. And, you know, whether you do fast or medium, or there's so many, go to hard instead of legend. There's so many variables that can affect this game. Yes, we'll find a way to get it to work as best we can. But it's like right now it just seems a little frustrating because here's the reason. See all these things next to us? They got us hyped. They got us hyped for, you know, and most of us that are here in this community, we were like, island schmiling. That's cool, but I want to create. That's what we are. We're creators. And even, you know, I go into create an arena for the first time after 2 weeks because I heard it was bugged like crazy. And I finally go in. All they have is 1 Tron and 2 lights. That's it. That's new. And I'm not asking for the world. I get it. You did this whole brand new mode that's phenomenal that they still have to now focus on because of the servers and crap. It looks phenomenal, I should say. And they are going to give less attention to us creators, the ones that play the game. And like Odd said, that's a big fear right now. So hopefully they get it worked out. Hopefully we get it, but I'm going to stay on 24 for a while. I got a lot of fun plans coming up. And we're going to try to work out another type of game show to bring for this as well, because I think that's a new way to kind of break the ice, learn about each other, have fun outside of character. And because bringing each other together has always been my main focus. And I think, you know, the ease of doing a game show and having fun, you know, can really bring this community together even more. So we'll do our final thoughts and we'll have at it. So yeah, here's what I would say now out here. You know, if you're getting good long matches, Temple, drop a dime on Monstar or vice versa and try to find out. He's getting 4 to 6 minute matches. So it's sliders. We have all kinds of things we can try to to Monstar's not on Discord though. That might be an issue for you guys. You might both be on X, I'm not sure. All created characters, created arena. I mean, I'm already trying to find ways to combine. Like my arm for Blaise was a Superman logo and then lightning and a different tattoo. Now it's one tattoo. So I'm using one instead of three. So I'm trying to keep, because I know that helps affect it. Now, maybe that problem will go away since I'm on the 5 instead of the 4. I know there's hardware limitations on the 4, but I was, much as I'm not a gamer, I was pushing that fucker to the limit when it came to adding files to this game. We'll start with odds on this. We're just going to do our final thoughts. And of course, at the end of the day is how we started. Odds at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, 2K25, people will look back on fondly coming into 2K26 or in 2K27 like they always like they do every year. The complaints right now are going to fade. People are going to forget. People are going to look back more fondly because they're not looking for actual fixing and trying to fix things for the other players. They're just looking to put their name out there to be one of the rally criers for bitching, whining, and moaning, and I don't. And those people can go jump in a lake.
I gotcha. I always love chitter chatting with odds about the game and this art form. And as you guys see, we don't always agree, and we banter and we debate. But it's, I think that's the ultimate that I want you guys out there to know. If you're in this community, don't be afraid to debate with people. Don't be afraid to be wrong. Look, I was wrong how many times in the show? How
many times were both me and Riley wrong?
I will take it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to shout you both out for putting yourself out there in the game and having fun. And that's what it was all about. I learned a shitload about wrestling video games by being Beetle, looking up questions, the chat questions today, and what you guys had to say. I knew coming in that I was going to have at least one or two that were either wrong or debatable. So that made it fun. As well. Even Triple Beat was.
Yes, you were, Beetle, and I will never let you forget it.
Yeah. I can help you out, Temple. Send them to me. I'll send them to Monstar. And I think you both might be on Twitter if Monstar's still there. But Riley, at the end of the day, my friend.
At the end of the day, I won the CAW! I won, Sam!
Pat yourself on the back. Knock your mic out. Knock your camera out. Mute yourself. This is just game one.
His background is turning into the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, it is green now. That's kind of cool. This is good. He hulked out on us, and
now it's red. Now he's General Ross.
But yeah, like I said, guys, share best practices. If you learn something about the game, that's how we overcome a lot of this stuff. If there's more issues we're having, get it out there. My Discord is wide open. My DMs are wide open. Let's talk about it. Next Sunday's wide open. I don't have anything planned for the summit, but if it comes down to it, I might bring a couple people back, talk about the game, what they found so far. I really want to dig into Totes' head. He's been really getting into creation and stuff.
I'm back!
Look, you got Wally happy. He's
at the end of the day, green. I
win! Jeez. Instead of taking a shot every so many likes, we need a Xanax.
I'm taking a shot. I'm taking a shot.
Hey, for everybody out there, at the end of the day, find friends like Odds and Riley and have fun with you too. I love all you guys. This has been a blast. Next Sunday's still up in the air, but we'll see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
But for Odds and Riley, thanks for being a part of the summit. And we'll see you guys in the streams. We're out of here. blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed.